I'm Nikki Hennessy. Thank you so much for tuning into our very first Conscious Communications video blog. I'm thrilled to have you here with us today. So for our first video, I wanted to talk about something that is really important to me and close to my heart as a communicator and a brand strategist, and that is authenticity. So we're going to talk a little bit about what authenticity is, what it means to communicate with authenticity, and why that's so important for your brand. So authenticity is really about being open and honest and real with your clients and your customers and the audience that you're trying to reach with your communications. I guess the real crux of authenticity is being true to yourself as a person, but also true to your values as a brand, and communicating with that in mind whenever you're reaching out to your audience. And so the first step in order to communicate authentically will really be to define what that means for you, to get really clear on what your values are as a brand, and also for you as the representative of your brand, or as the face of your brand. I was speaking with a client of mine just yesterday, and she was talking about the pressure that she feels on social media to conform to this perfect yogi, health coach, clean eating ideal that so many of the people and the brands in her industry really perpetuate and put out there through their social media profiles. So I'm sure you all know the kind of Instagram profile I'm talking about, with the perfect pictures of green smoothies and walking on the beach at 5 a.m. in the morning, and meditation and early nights and perfect handstands. And what she was saying to me, my client, was that that just really doesn't sit well with her. It doesn't feel authentic for her, because sure, she's up at 5 a.m. practicing most mornings. She's really healthy and drinks plenty of green smoothies, but she also likes to have a glass of wine on a Friday night with her girlfriends. And she likes to go out dancing and to sleep in on the weekends. And so she doesn't want to have to redact or to edit those parts out of her life in order to fit into this picture perfect box that her industry kind of expects, or that people within her industry really put out there and expect others to do so. So for her, it's really about authenticity, and communicating with authenticity is really about showing the whole of her life and really being open and honest about all of these different elements of who she is and what happens in her life, and how she manages day to day all of the different things that she gets up to, balancing the health and also the things that she loves and that she enjoys. The second part of authenticity that I wanted to talk about was about being really clear on what is authentic for you and credible for you to talk about as a brand. So back in my corporate life, when I was, climbing the corporate ladder, I was working with so many clients who wanted to jump on the bandwagon of every single trending news story that was out there. They wanted to get some publicity, to get their name in, and to try and get a comment in the news off the back of a story that was becoming really big. But if you're a laptop maker, it's not really going to seem credible and authentic for you to talk about or to comment on the upcoming summer fashion trends. No matter how pretty your laptop cases might be, you as a brand don't have the authority to credibly comment on that topic area. You can't position yourself as a thought leader on something that's not relevant for your audience, because it's not going to resonate. And the same goes for you and for your brand. For example, if you're a yoga teacher, what you should be talking about and the way that you're communicating and what you're communicating about needs to be relevant for the audience that you're trying to build for your brand. So talking about something completely off topic generally isn't a good idea. There are some provisos in there, if it's something that is really important to you, or something that you're really passionate about that you want to share with your audience, then by all means go for it. But if it's an attempt to jump on the back of something that's trending, or that's really popular at the moment, then it's not going to come across as authentic for you or for your brand, and your audience will sense that, and it will be off-putting. So why is authenticity so important for you as a brand? I guess it really comes down to what I just mentioned. When you're not authentic, it is really off-putting for your audience. Authenticity builds trust, it builds credibility, and it will continue to build rapport with your audience, with your clients and customers, and potential clients and customers. It will really start to build that relationship so that they know and trust your brand and position you as a thought leader for them within the area that you're focused in. The other big thing about authenticity, as I just mentioned, is when you're not authentic, people can really tell. People know. We are so overexposed to information and, to social media and to different brands these days. People are really savvy. They can tell when you're not being real and when you're not being honest. It's a bit like a cheesy fake smile that doesn't quite reach your eyes. People can see it, they can smell it, they can sense it. And it's going to really be off-putting for your audience if that's the way that you are presenting yourself and that's the way that you're communicating with them. So my number one tip in terms of breeding authenticity and really cultivating that authentic nature in the way that you communicate as a brand is to really tune into your heart, but also listen into your body and the little cues and tips that it gives you. So if you're about to post something on Facebook, or you're about to comment on something and you get a little bit of a yuck kind of feeling, your body's a bit like, pit of the stomach maybe kind of drops a little bit, or maybe your heart just kind of stops for a moment with a little bit of a question. Just stop, take a moment, really think about what it is that you're about to post, and then tap back into why it is that you're trying to communicate what you're about to talk about. Why is it important to your audience, and how does it relate to your values as a brand? So just before you hit post, maybe before you hit send, take a moment, take some time, and maybe rethink what you're about to do if you're getting those little signals from the body. So thank you so much for tuning in today to our very first video. If you enjoyed this video and you'd like some more, like to join the fun, head on over to the blog at nikkihennessy.com.au, and you can also sign up for our newsletter there, where you'll receive all sorts of free goodies, a little bit of love into your inbox every week, and some tips and tricks that will help you to communicate in a conscious and authentic way.